So first thing is basically when developing the curiosity, and that's when we start our journey of knowing something. It always starts with a question in our mind, whether we are aware of that question or we are not aware of that question. But the curiosity is something that basically triggers some movement in us to understand something, to find out more about something. Something interests us, something appeals us. So intellectually, if you want to move forward towards your goal, I would say start with developing a curiosity. It's not just curiosity about everything. It is a targeted curiosity, I would say. So you have to have a curiosity to understand how things work. And when you do so, you are actually starting on your journey, on your path, basically. From there, I would advise that you start to read more about it, start to find more information, start for the right information, right knowledge on that. And that is basically a stage where you are getting familiar with your path. So if we have to take this analogy of a journey or a sailor going towards a destination being your goal, whether it's realization or almighty or spirituality or anything. When you develop curiosity, you are actually getting started. When you start to read more about it, you get your knowledge, you try to find information, you're getting familiar with your journey. When you're starting with your journey, you get familiarity with where you want to go, what are the tools that can help you, how you can navigate certain things. And then from there you can easily use some of the other things that many of us don't use as often, but then many of us, whenever we encounter, we do say that, oh, that was something really different, that really helped me, is company of wise people or spiritual people. And when I say I'm gonna have this point for my experiential category as well, in this intellectual bucket I'm putting it from a discussion perspective. So when we are finding the right information, getting familiar with where we want to get to, the path to realization or goal, achieving what we really want to achieve, is basically also talking to the people that are experienced on that path, who have seen that, who have more knowledge than us. And that is where the company of wise people, spiritual people, is really, really helpful, because they can help you direct, redirect, set you in the right direction, stopping you from going into wrong direction, stopping you from struggle. And that is where we learn from somebody else's mistakes, right? Someone who is experienced can help you guide more. So I would say, once you start to develop curiosity, and once you start to learn or try to start to find information from people, I would also advise highly, highly, highly that you find company of such people. Find those people who are either highly spiritual or highly informed about your field or about the direction that you want to go into. If you are planning to go into a spiritual direction, you definitely need to find highly spiritual people who have experienced things, because they can tell you what you can anticipate, what experiences would come, how you can increase your knowledge, or whether you're moving into right direction or not. Similarly, if you talk to people, if your goal is to say become like I'm giving this example of Laura, like she is a CPA. If you want to be a CPA, Laura probably would be the right person to talk to, because she is CPA. She knows how to study for that, what skills you would need, how you should prepare yourself, and what you can expect being a CPA. So third step for me is resetting your direction or increasing the flow by talking to the right people. If you are not able to talk to people who are highly informed in your field, the goal that you want to achieve, uh, if it is a spiritual goal, finding out the truth about the life, if it is religious goal of finding out the almighty, I would still say, no matter what the goal is, find the people who are motivated, who are positive, who at least give you positive energy, positive vibration, so that even if they don't provide you something of a direction, you still are propelled, you still feel motivated to move forward, you still positive about your endeavor, your journey, your direction that you get into. Would there be unknowns? Yes, they always would be unknown, no matter how much someone tries to hold our hand and makes us walk into something. Even if you are holding hand of your kid, right, or a baby or whoever, and tries to make that kid, baby, or whoever you are holding hands of, try to walk unknown territory that you know that, but the other person does not know. Even though you're holding hand, even though the person has trust in you that you will take care, you will you know what is happening, and there won't be any harm, the person still would be little observant, little nervous, because the person himself herself is walking the path for the first time. So there would be some unknowns always, and it's okay to have unknowns, and that is where the intellect can start to play a bigger role, where we can start to get more information and start to subside our hunger, start to subside our questioning mind, start to subside our I won't say reasoning, because reasoning can mean differently, and I'm gonna talk about it in the next slide when we talk about experience. But we have logic, we have the anti-logic as well. Like something can be logical, something can be illogical, and something they could be fallacies or yeah, paradoxes in the logic or reasoning. So not every reasoning is in the right direction, but at least we try to find information to make us feel more comfortable. Is that what we need to get at when we talk to these people? That's the third stage. The next thing you can do by extension of that is meetups or specific interest group that can help you propel towards your direction. If it is religious, finding religious group. If it is spiritual, finding spiritual group, or meetups. Basically, like one of the things that we as a group try to do is focus on improving lives by looking at positive practice, and we don't confine ourselves to just the name of the group, which is positive thoughts and law of attraction. We try to go uh, beyond that name. We try to open ourselves to different information that can help make changes to people's life, including spirituality. So finding such groups, finding such people can really help you propel. And that stage would be increasing the flow or propelling yourself in that direction. The next thing that you can do when you find this information from doing your own research, reading about it, trying to find information, and then getting information from different people who are highly informed, or they are more experienced, or you get into those groups where you have discussion from different people, you experience the different perspective, you hear different things, different experience from different people. That's the time when you have to do the introspection, churning on, brainstorming on the information that you receive. This is an important step, because even though you have flow, you have the basic information to get started, or you're moving already, you need to constantly reset your direction. And that can only happen when you introspect, churn, or brainstorm. If you want to do it yourself, great. That is something that can make a lot of difference. If you find that you are not able to do so on your own, that's where the company of all those people, highly wise people, wise people, rather spiritual people, informed people, experienced people, can help you. But no matter how much you discuss, I would still recommend that you introspect and try to understand. At times we are told a message, and we when we are not convinced, we don't want to walk that path. And people say, oh, you just do it, trust me, it will happen, and we are not convinced. So sometimes we have to convince, or be convinced rather. We have to show trust in the person that we talk to, and that it is not an easy thing to do. Many times we are told by either spiritual leaders, religious prominent figures, or people who have achieved quite a lot in life or in our field. They say something and we find that to be too good to be true. Like they will say, "Oh, just do it, you'll be fine." But then when we try to do it, we have our own struggles, because each person's mind is working differently. We have our own perspective of things, and that point of time we are not able to generate trust in what is being told. So we'll have to find a way to generate that trust, whether you find generate that trust by talking to people, learning from their experiences, or getting information, or just simply saying, okay, I've tried everything, being reasonable, being logical. I try to find all the information. I don't know any better. So let me just try. See. Let me just see what happens. At the max, what will happen? I will fail, right? And each failure is a learning. Each time you fail, each time you learn something new. So if we think from that perspective, we will not be afraid of failure. We'll not be afraid of making mistakes, but we will learn. That is for sure. And that is far more important for us to start making that trust in something that has been experienced by people, that has been told so many times, and that is something which we find very difficult to follow. So I would say, don't stop yourself from learning something. Don't stop yourself from making mistakes or getting into unknowns. We all at some point of time get into unknowns. We all at some point of time do things that we never experienced or we don't have much information about. um, we try to be as logical in everything. We do things thinking that we know everything about. But how about things, right? Like getting married to a person or getting into a job. Do we know about the job, everything about the job when we get into? Laura just shared her example. She's getting into a new job and she's nervous. And she is, by the way, a experienced certified CPA as well. So by that account, she should not be nervous. We should not be nervous getting married. We should not be nervous doing something that we don't know everything about. And there's hardly anything that we know everything about. We think we know the people that we stay with, but every time they keep doing something that surprises us. Because each time in the same situation, we can act differently. So how can we know what the outcome or the response of that person would be in a given scenario? Because in the given scenario, the response of that person can change based on what is going on in the mind. So what I'm trying to say is, intellectually, even though we think we may know about things, there are a lot of unknowns we don't know. It's just the degree of our comfort of knowing that topic. It's the degree of we thinking that I know this person sufficiently. I can spend this. I can spend my life with this person, or I know from the job description this is what I'm gonna do, or I'm going to be successful at this job, even though the job description does not tell you what kind of a boss you're gonna get. Job description is not going to tell you what kind of office politics you will have, whether there'll be appreciation for your work, whether you're going to be uh, consumed under a lot of work pressure, whether there's collaboration within the team or not. All of that you don't get to know. You only get to know what is expected out of this role. That's it. And we still apply thinking we know. I'm pretty confident of cracking this interview. I'm still confident of making this relationship work because I know this person from these many years, and still we encounter things differently. So the thing I'm trying to iterate here is, it's okay not to know, even though we try to build our intellect, even though we try to get more information about our path, even though we try to find out everything that we can, which is within our powers. We may possibly not know everything, and mostly that's the case. And if you find yourself struggling to find information, if you find yourself short of getting all the information, My advice is you still go ahead, because that's what we do in different aspect of our lives. I gave a couple of examples. There are many examples that can be given like that. So we already have this experience of moving into unknowns or moving into some direction when we think we know enough, but clearly we did not know. So just learn from those experiences and know that in the past we have all moved into direction thinking we knew, but we did not know. So how different it is now when we don't know. The only difference is that we know that we don't know. At that point of time, we did not know that we don't know. That's the only difference. It is not different from what we are trying to do. It's just the mindset. We at that point of time we just thought we have the information and we confidently walked into a particular path. Now we struggle because we think we don't know. But actually, if you reflect back, you would say you did not know. So why it is stopping you from moving forward when you know that you don't know? And that is all I'm trying to say. We are looking at it differently. That's it. We did not have information then, we do not have information now. And there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you are not afraid of walking into a path, not afraid of making mistake or learning from it, it's okay. And consider one more thing. If you find yourself stopped or not moving ahead, right, because of lack of information, lack of motivation, or none of the support that you are getting that you should get, what is more important? If we are on a journey, the most important thing is to keep moving. If you just stop, you can't get anywhere. You can't get to a wrong direction as well. And what is wrong and right? How do we define that? We define based on what we know, like our science. Science has defined so many things differently 50 years ago and is defining different things, the same thing differently. Like many, our scientists, they said there's no other planet in the whole universe like Earth. And now we know that is not true. Now we know there are many, many planets like Earth, which has potential to have life like Earth. I think one planet is Kepler 18, I guess, which is 124 light years away from here. It is little larger than Earth, and at least from what the science knows right now, or scientists know, is as habitable as Earth is, unless we know more about it. And we all know there are different solar systems, there are different Milky Ways, and there's so much basically. And considering that if we only have one planet in the entire universe, which is not even occupying 0.001% of the entire universe, is to say, like in the movie, I think Contact, right? I keep talking about that. It's awful waste of the space. Someone who created the space has created more than 99.9% of nothing in that case. Whether there's life or not is a separate thing. Let's not get into that topic right now. What I'm trying to say is what we know, the whole basis of what we know keeps changing with time. And it's okay not to know. If you find yourself that you don't have information about, it's okay. So when you find yourself struggling to move forward or to know which direction to move, I would just say just move based on what you know. At the max, you will make a mistake, you will go into a wrong direction. Like Columbus, you will start for India and you'll reach US or discover US, and or Vasco da Gama, who started for United States and discovered India. At the max, you'll be in a different direction or different poles of Earth, right? Or you can learn, like Thomas Edison, who failed 1,000 times before he invented the light bulb. Why are we so afraid of making mistake? That's the thing that stops us from making any progress. And I would say that is the most important piece of the puzzle we need to solve, or we need to understand. And that is why I'm spending a little more time talking about it. It is not how to find information. People will find information. People don't struggle finding positive people also. You will find positive people. You will find uh, meetups or specific groups where you can get information about a particular path, religious, spiritual, professional, any path, or personal, relationship, anything. But it's to understand what to do when you don't have information. It, more important is to understand for us what to do when we don't feel comfortable, when we don't know what to do. And that's what I'm telling. Just move forward. Just keep walking in the path that you have been walking into. At the max, maybe you'll walk 2 steps and realize you were wrong and you can reset your path, or you will realize you're still on the right path. You don't see anything unusual. You still see everything uh, in relation to where you want to go. But that can only happen when you keep walking, keep moving, like the Johnny Walker, keep walking. It's so simple, but so difficult to do, of course. But what we do, we stop and we say things are not changing. How can we expect things to change if we don't move? Maybe the shadow that we are trying to come out of is only two steps ahead away from us. We just have to move because the tree is not going to move. Or maybe the rain that we are in, we just want to, we just have to take another 2 3 steps and get into a shade. And we are blaming, oh, why this rain is happening, what have I done, why it is happening with me, there must be something wrong with me, I don't have right tools, and this and that. We all go through that. We all experience our bit of rain, or the suffering, as you call them, or sadness. Even if I tell you to find a person who has never seen sadness, I don't think there's any possibility of finding that. You would not be able to find, because what we think we lack, other people don't think from that perspective. Everyone thinks differently. So at times we run after money, we run after relationship, we run after materialistic things. People who have all of those, they lack something else. They run after something else. I'm not saying you reset your target or you see what your target is, whether it makes sense or not, or only ask for something that is more important or that really matters, though that is the right thing to do. If you think from spiritual perspective, we really have to ask this question to ourselves: are we wanting or desiring for something that is going to last, that is going to make us happy? Or we think, I will not spend too much time on whether or not we should be uh, asking this question, because I know at different stages of our lives, at times, even finding small thing as simple as finding a job or finding someone who can support us, it becomes important. And it's not easy for everyone to be stronger mentally, that a person is able to move forward when there's no support. I understand that, so I do support those goals as well. But at the same time, we have to understand that we have to keep walking. That's the only thing that will help you move out of the current situation. Just keep walking. It's okay to be wrong. Don't worry about being wrong. At the max, that's the worst that will happen. You will be wrong. You will learn. There'll be another bit of pain or suffering or something, but that will teach you quite a lot as well, which is what is more important. So next is something, and I didn't want to categorize everything in yoga aspect because it is being misused many times. The information is disseminated from various perspectives. Some people really don't understand, and you see various forms of yoga like hot yoga. There's all sort of yoga basically, and they really don't take you anywhere because that's not what yoga is. Yoga is actually a Hindi word which means the unity of body, mind, and soul. So yoga means in Hindi it is basically to add basically yoga and to add something. So it's adding or getting your body, mind, and soul to unify. That's yoga is, and all the practices are under yoga. It's basically they help you unify with your mind, your body, and your soul. You get everything, all these three aspects into one, because currently we think differently. So in yoga, I would say, if you're aware of that, there are only four streams of yoga. In intellectual path, there are only two streams that are more applicable. One primarily to little bit, but the second in certain aspect only. But jnana yoga, if you don't know much about it, I would recommend that you read about it. It is all about developing wisdom. Jnana again is a word for wisdom, basically, or knowledge. So it's a path of knowledge. If you practice yoga and if you are on a path of intellect, this is something that can help you a lot. And there's so much material you'll find on yoga. So that is why I wanted to put that, because these are topics many people from hundreds of years have spoken about, and there's a lot of material available. Information is not very difficult to find on yoga as well. So if you are on intellectual path, you can find out more about Jnana Yoga that can help you. There's another form which is Raja Yoga, which is more of a meditation path. Meditation could be done differently. One of the ways meditation, one of the aspect of meditation that can help you is actually introspection and brainstorming within yourself when you tries to focus thinking, I would say. Like there's focus interest group or specific interest group. Then similarly, you can have a focused thinking to dissect, bisect, trisect the topic that you're talking about, and basically try to find out more about it, try to look at it from different perspective. And that aspect of Raja Yoga basically is that is something that can help your intellect, because when you dissect information or when you try to go deeper, look from different aspect, that's when you understand more about something, and that can help quench your thirst for knowledge or information that you're looking for. And then also develop an ability to discern logic from illogic or fallacy. We will always have people giving you reasoning for what they do. Though many times people say, oh, I don't know why I'm doing this, but many times you will find people will give you some reasoning, their own logic for doing things, even though they're wrong. All the criminals, by the way, in our society, they do things thinking they are right. They have their own logic for doing things. So we have to be aware that not every reasoning is right reasoning. It's like the sugar, right? If you have sugar in limited quantity, it is good, it is sweet. But if you have it in large quantity or too much, then even the sweet becomes bitter, and it starts to hurt your body than help you. Even though we know there are nutrients in sugar, it's instant energy for us that body can consume and use. But if you have too much, it's gonna make you sick as well. So same thing goes with logic as well, or reasoning. When you find information, when you find reasoning, just ask yourself, is that something that is going to help you, or is that something that is actually stopping you from moving forward? Because just remember, our mind will think differently, right? That is the reason we react differently in the same situation, same circumstances. It's really important for us to developing that ability to discern the kind of information that we are receiving, the kind of logic or reasoning our mind is giving for us to walk into a direction. And when you do so on that path, you're actually constantly checking your direction and moving into that. Because then you are able to understand the piece of information that you have is right or not. And when I say right or wrong, it is not right or wrong from the perspective of, oh, this is absolutely right for everyone, this is absolutely right or wrong for everyone. It is right or wrong from your path perspective. For you, does it help you move towards your goal, or it does not help you basically? Something that does not help you is what I'm referring to as wrong, though it is not wrong, though it may be right for someone else. So you just have to see how much it is aligned to your own path when you're on the path of intellect. When you develop your curiosity to start walking into a journey, when you start to acquire information, start to read, getting familiar with yourself, getting familiarity with your goal, or when you start to interact with people who are highly informed or experienced, and you reset your direction, or when you increase the flow by being in the company of such people constantly, or you reset your direction by introspecting, right? And when you do all that, you will be able to develop that ability that will help you move in the right direction, and you will be able to achieve your goal.